Hey, it's Marcus, and welcome to another episode of Between the Bellows, a show that combines large format photography and short documentary stories. Now, if you've been shooting photography for a while, you probably had the idea of making a photo book of your work at some point. But if you're like me, you probably also talked yourself out of it because it seemed impossible to achieve. But in this episode, we will meet photographer Emanuel Hahn, who brings us into the heart of LA's Koreatown through a stunning portrait series of its shop owners there. These visuals not only capture the spirit of the community, but have also been compiled into a photo book called Koreatown Dreaming. And I just want to add that he did this project in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. So I met up with Emanuel for coffee in K-Town to take his portrait and hear more about his journey. I'm always excited to meet other photographers, so let's jump right in.
My name is Emanuel Hahn. I'm a photographer in LA, and we're in Koreatown today. Koreatown is special to me because it has a little bit of everything for everyone. You can find all kinds of food here, and at the same time get your groceries done, pick up some clothes, and get household appliances that are straight from Korea. You can hang out, you can spend time with your family and your friends, and it just really feels like a really rich community in LA. What I like to do when I get stuck in this creative rut is I try to go on really long walks. And one of the first places that I thought to go on a really long walk was in Koreatown. And so I would drive my car to the corner of Western and Olympic, and I would park my car in one of the parking lots, and then I would just kind of walk all the way down Western and then back to my car. And then the next day I would walk all the way down Olympic and then back. And so I sort of explored Koreatown in that way on foot. Having that sort of routine was really healthy for me, like just waking up, getting some food, and just getting in my car. It made me feel like I was going to work. And I think the more I walked in Koreatown, the more I learned how sort of vast and complicated it is. I feel like even though I made a book, there are just so many places that I have barely scratched the surface. There's like a hairdresser back here. These are all just like home goods that you would find in every Korean household. I'd taken a lot of photos out on the streets that were a bit more abstract, but I wanted to have this human touch. And so when I met this woman at Home Plus Mart in Rodeo Galleria, I talked to her for a couple hours. She told me about her whole life story. And then at the end, I asked if I could take a photo of her, and she agreed. 감사합니다. Free gift for you and me. And that really set the standard, and that set the tone for the rest of the project in terms of focusing on shopkeeper portraits and their stories. When I first started, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do 5 and that'll be a good number and I'll end it. And then I got to 5 and I was like, oh, I could do more. So then I told myself, okay, I will do 10 and then I'll be done. Because I don't know why, but in my head, I was just very much in this mode of I need to go back to doing my commercial work and my editorial work. But I just kept working on the project because that felt doable. And I think if I didn't think about a number, a large number, and if I didn't think about a book, the only thing I could really focus on was just the next person. And that really helped for me to just stay focused. And as I was kind of looking through the pictures, I was like, what's the point? If they're just sitting on my computer, I should share them. There's this image of a woman with a mask on, and then behind her is this building that says drugs, obviously pharmacy drugs. But I thought it was very pertinent to that time with COVID and just the elderly getting sick. I posted that image with just kind of my thoughts about how COVID was affecting Koreatown. And yeah, and the response was pretty nice. A lot of my friends were really interested in what I was doing, and they were kind of encouraging me to keep going.
What doubts did you have?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, the very first doubt that I had was just even would people care about this? When I was hoarding those photos and I was just stuck in my home, I was kind of overthinking. I was like, why would anyone find this interesting? And then when I started sharing and it got good traction, I think that helped alleviate a lot of those doubts. I think the biggest takeaway is that in the beginning, everything seems intimidating to you. Like everything seems like insurmountable. When you sort of break it down into pieces, you can learn anything and everything. Like before I started this project, I had no idea how I would make a book. And now that I've kind of gone through that process, it seems surprisingly easy. But there are just so many things that I had to learn. But I actually really enjoyed that I feel like if you want to like learn to do something or make something, like there's so many resources out there.
So I normally have footage of myself setting up the camera, but my original location idea for a portrait fell through and I had to take his shot in a busy parking lot nearby. It was just too much to juggle, but here is a shot of the 300mm Daguerre lens I used on my arca-swiss 8x10 to get this shot. I shot this on Ilford FP4, not bad for a 5-minute setup in an active parking lot. What do you think of the camera?
This is crazy. It's the detail, like it's so sharp. I've never seen it this sharp before. And the plate is like, oh, watch out, there's a car behind you. The plate is like, it's like this big. It's crazy.
I hope this inspired some of you out there who are looking to tell your own stories through the medium of photography. Thanks again to Emanuel for taking the time to share his story. You can follow him and find his book in the description below. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next episode of Between the Bellows. Thanks.